everyone, Miss Todd here, and I'm here to help you study for your rounding test tomorrow. So you need to get a pencil and a piece of paper, and the cool thing about me reviewing with you online with the video is that you can pause me or stop me at any time that you need to if I'm going too fast. Alright, the first thing we're going to talk about is rounding to the nearest tens place. Now this is review, so you should probably already know how to do this, but listen anyways and go ahead and just do the practice. Basically, if I had the number 83 and I wanted to round to the nearest 10, basically what I'm asking is I have a number line. I have 80 over here and I have 90 over here. Now 85 is probably right in the middle. If I needed to tell where 83 was, is it closer to the 80 or is it closer to the 90? It's probably right here. Which means that we would round down to 80. Now, we could do the number line the entire time, but when your numbers get bigger, it's better that you learn the method. So the first thing we have to do is we have to find the place value. Remember how we had the little dance? So you find the place value. You find the tens place. You have the ones and the tens. And then you underline it. That's the number that's going to be changing. Then you look to the right. If that number is a 5 or above, you give the underlined number a shove. If it's 4 or below, you leave it alone. So if I'm looking at his buddy is 4 below. So I'm going to leave that underlined number alone. And everything after it becomes a big, fat 0. So there's only one place value after, that's where you get your 0. Which is what we had when we had the number line. Let's try another one. Let's do 652. Now I want to go to the nearest tens. So you go ones place, tens place, and then you underline it. Then you look to the right. Tells you what to do. If this number is a 5 or above, you give it a shove. 4 or below, you leave it alone. So since this is 4 or below, I'm going to leave that 5 alone. And everything after it becomes a big, fat 0. But wait, did I forget something? I did. I gotta make sure that I put that number in front. Now for the most part, this number is not going to change. There are certain situations where it does change, like when this is a 9 and it has to become a 10. But we're just going to stick with the basics for right now. So we rounded to the nearest tens place. What place do you think we're going to do next? Hundreds. Okay, let's start off with something a little more difficult. Let's do 4,622. And we want to round to the nearest hundreds place. So the first thing I do is I find the place value. Ones, tens, hundreds. And then I underline it. Then I look to the right. Tells me what to do. 5 or above, I give the underlined number a shove. 4 or below, leave it alone. So it looks like it's a 4 or below, so I'm going to leave that 6 alone. And everything after it is going to become a big, fat 0. But make sure that you put that 4 in front. So your answer rounds down to 4,600. So let's try one more. I'm going to try you guys do this one on your own. Let's do 30,682. I'll do it up here, but I'm not going to say anything. I want you guys to see if you can do it on your own. I got 30,700. Is that what you got? Awesome. All right, let's take one last look. What do you think the last thing we're going to do? We are going to round to the nearest thousands place. Okay, so let's try 4,721. Now if we're rounding to the nearest thousands place, We do ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. You underline it. And then you look to the right. 5 or above, you give that underlined number a shove. 4 or below, you leave it alone. So the 7 is 5 or above. So I am going to shove that underlined number, and it becomes a 5. Everything after it becomes a big, fat 0. And you have 5,000. Okay, one last problem. You guys ready for this one? Let's do 521,614. But we're rounding to the nearest thousands place. Go ahead and try that. I'm going to work it up here, but I'm going to be quiet and see if you get the same answer. Did you guys get this? 522,000? Awesome. Well, if you understand all this and you did a pretty good job, I think you're going to be totally fine for tomorrow's test. So get a good night's sleep, get to practice, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.